Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Oh yeah!
Lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Oh yeah!
Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans. truth, lies, shenanigans, truth, lies, shenanigans,
Oh yeah.
truth, lies, shenanigans, truth, lies, shenanigans. Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is Truth, Lies, Shenanigans, the live show for Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Only 2 more days until Christmas for those of you celebrating. I go by the name Neo Nix, and I'll be your moderator for today's show, our ugly Christmas sweater show. All right. For today's show, we've got Jose, a huge part of our social media marketing team with us, and we're putting her on the hot seat. In our hot topics, Lizzie wants to discuss the Washington football team settling sexual misconduct claims. Gianni Storm asks, will we see a human or cultural shift from a once-in-a-lifetime cosmic alignment of Jupiter and Saturn? Rob B wonders if months in jail is a reasonable punishment for breaking COVID rules. And I'll be pointing out the COVID relief package and asking, is it really providing relief? All right, let's check in with our hosts and their ugly, ugly sweaters. Let's start out with Liz E. By the way, make sure you take it all in because we're asking you to vote by the end of the show on the best ugly sweater. So we're going to start out with our professor, writer, editor, journalist, Lizzie Enders. Lizzie.
What's up?
Show us what you got. What you working with?
Everyone. I think my ugly sweater is in the same vein of Hump Day. So it says, feel the joy. Feel the joy. Feel it. Feel it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
That is funny. I like that one. Oh, and what's it? We have to ask, what's in the cocktail today? I know you got to have a special Christmas cocktail.
Oh, so this is the Christmas fizz, everyone. So today we have some Smirnoff peppermint vodka with some Chambord and a little bit of bubbly.
Nice.
Make it all better. This
All
is what
right.
I'm putting out for Santa.
All right, and our rock star with the band Fallen Machine, streaming live from Sudbury, Ontario, Robbie Rock. Let's see that ugly sweater. All right, nice ugly sweater. We can't hear you, but it's a beautiful ugly sweater.
So superheroes do celebrate Christmas, right, Rob?
Well, we can't hear you though. We can't hear you, Robbie.
Yes, the superheroes are from all denominations. And Lee made sure they were very inclusive. And yeah, the Hulk, he's not the prettiest Avenger. He's ugly.
The Hulk. All right. And streaming out of Atlanta, Georgia, our native New Englander and college student, Gianni Storm.
Hey, guys.
Gianni Storm, let's check out that sweater. What are we looking at?
Okay, you ready?
Nah. Oh, look at the tassels. Tassels?
Ooh.
Mike Winter said your nerd is showing, by the way, Rob B.
Every day, baby. Every day.
Of course, I've got the Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. This is actually very, very furry.
Mm.
Very,
Furry.
very extremely furry. You'd be surprised. It's very soft, actually.
Comfortable.
He's gonna be rubbing his chest throughout the entire show.
Mm.
I like it.
Feel the joy. Feel the joy, Neonix. Feel the joy on your chest.
All right, so like I said, have one more person to introduce, and that is Jose, and we're gonna put her on the hot seat. All right, Jose, you are on the hot seat. How are you today?
I'm good. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for
Thank you for joining
coming.
us.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jose.
for being a part of our TLS fam in more ways than one.
It is my absolute privilege. I love being a part of this.
Oh yeah, you're
Oh,
amazing.
sweet.
Everything you
Thanks,
do
Jose.
is absolutely amazing. We really appreciate you joining us. So, if for those that don't know, Jose is Robbie Rock's better half, but she's also on our marketing team handling our Twitter page. All right, are you ready for our hot seat?
I think so.
All right. It's just a set of rapid fire questions, and all you have to do is answer with the first thing that comes to mind. All right, so let's go. All right, Jose, sleep in or wake up early?
Wake up early.
Oh, you're early bird. Okay. All right. More money or more time?
Time.
Okay. Don't need money. All right. City
Nope.
or countryside?
Country. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Out in Canada, I bet you. That is...
I love my nature. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Beyonce or Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
All right. Red wine, white wine, cocktail, or none of the above?
All of the above.
Yes!
Red wine. Always red wine.
Sounds like Lizzie over there. All right. All right. Brad Pitt movies, Chadwick Boseman movies, or Tom Cruise movies?
None.
Oh,
None.
okay. All right.
If I really, really had to pick, then I would maybe do Brad Pitt, but you would have to force me.
Okay. No, we wouldn't make you pick. We wouldn't make you pick at all. All right. Pan-seared venison with rosemary and dried cherries, or Delicios or DiGiorno's pizza?
No, I'll go with the first choice. I mean, pan-seared and everything, you can't go wrong. Yeah.
All right. All right, and the last one, and this is a tough one. This is really tough. Reese's, Snickers, or M&M's?
Snickers.
All right. Great job, Jose. You are off the
Thank
hot
you.
seat. Great job, Jose. We appreciate you coming on. You did really good.
Thank you. Thank you very
Really
much.
good. All right, so we'll definitely see you next week for our Secret Santa show, and our
Yes.
audience will get to know you even a little bit better.
I love it. I can't wait.
All right, we'll see you next week, Jose.
Take
Thanks
care.
for joining us.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was good, huh?
That's
Jose,
good.
Robbie, good choice,
You got
buddy.
a good one, Rob.
We haven't video chatted in a while. That reminded me of the courting days when that was the only means of communication we had available to us.
So cute.
Oh, so you courted over video chat, is that right?
Very much so. Yeah. It was just daily video chats. I would spend my day at work. She would spend her day at work, and then we'd spend our evenings just chilling out together and FaceTiming, making dinner, watching movies, whatever.
Oh, we got some comments for Jose you can give to her. So, Paulette Bertrand, you might know her, says, "You're really hot, Joe."
Mama
And
Peru.
Kevin Thatcher said, "Bambi and Blitzen are delicious." Hey. Hey, that's not nice. All right.
I think
All
we
right.
have a couple of. I think we have a couple of minutes. I want to throw one of Jose's questions out to the panel because I'm very curious. So go back to the movie question.
Okay.
Brad Pitt movie, Chadwick Boseman movies, or Tom Cruise movies. Which would you guys choose? Start with Johnny since she giggled so sweetly to that. Which would you choose? Brad Pitt,
It's
Chadwick
funny
Boseman.
because I knew you. It's funny, Liz, because I knew you caught that like when she didn't choose. I would choose. Okay, Tom Cruise.
See,
Top
believe
Gun.
it or not,
Okay.
believe it or
No?
not, Gianni, so would I. And I love
See?
Chadwick, but so would I. And I'm
Yeah.
taking the Scientology of it all out of it, taking the craziness
Oh, okay.
out of Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
nuts.
choose Tom Cruise. But go ahead, Rob. Rob B, what do you got?
I'd probably go with the Brad Pitt movies because Legends of the Fall is one of my favorites. Fight Club,
Oh, yeah.
Seven, 12
Seven's a good one.
Monkeys, right? So yeah, he's done some fun stuff over the years. Chadwick Boseman definitely would come in second because I love me some Black Panther action in my Marvel movies.
Did
Not
anybody see
depicted
Ma
on the
Rainey?
square.
Did anybody see Ma Rainey, the new movie with Chadwick Boseman?
I have not seen it yet because I'm not quite
Oh
ready.
my God.
I've seen the
Fantastic.
play. I've seen the actual play, but I haven't seen the movie.
Now, I didn't think the movie was great. I mean, I think the movie was good. It was a good movie, but it wasn't like superb or anything like that. There were some great performances, but Chadwick Boseman did extremely well. Extremely well. Oh my God, he killed it. He killed it. I mean, you could definitely tell he was ill in the movie. There's no question. You could tell he was at a time when he was ill. So it is a difficult watch knowing that he's passed, but he did an excellent job. I suggest you watch it. Yeah.
So
And the
did you give
music
your
was, I agree with Mike Winter, the music was really good in Ma Rainey.
Did you give your answer? Which would you choose? Pitt,
Oh, do I have to
Boseman,
give an
or
answer?
Cruise?
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's
You're
why I
on the
asked
panel.
her the question, because it's a tough question.
You're on the panel, aren't you?
It's tough. I'm probably, as far as the movies go, I'd probably pick, I think I liked the movies that Chadwick did better. I think Panther puts him over the top. I enjoy watching Tom Cruise movies like the Mission Impossibles and things like that. I would probably pick Brad Pitt second though.
Okay.
Because I like Seven. There's a lot of good. I mean, Brad Pitt is he really embodies his whoever he
Well,
plays.
they're all great. They're all great actors in their own right.
Yeah.
Different movies, though. All of them have kind of different acting
Different
styles,
genres. Yeah.
different genres of movies.
Yeah.
I just have to say, when I lived in Finland, I was in love with Tom Cruise. And so if any of my Finns are up, it's late in Finland right now, but if any of my Finns are up and watching, they can attest to the fact that I probably watched a Tom Cruise movie, usually the same one over and over again, but I watched a Tom Cruise movie almost every day that I was in Finland. Like I was just glued to the movie. Tom. My favorites were obviously Top Gun and Cocktail, believe it or not. I can quote Cocktail from beginning to end. That's how many times I've seen that.
It looks like the consensus online seems to be Tom Cruise movies because it looks like we have Milton Lessis, Tom Cruise, we have Mel Blaine, Tom Cruise, Mike
His
Winter.
movies are
Top
just
Gun.
more like, I don't know, they're just comfortable. I love Brad Pitt though. I think he would come in second only because I don't know a whole lot of Chadwick.
I think I've seen
movies. That's
every
the only
Chadwick
reason.
movie. That's the only reason.
The only reason, one of the reasons why I didn't pick Brad Pitt is because two of my favorite Brad Pitt movies were tearjerkers, and I'm not trying to cry. It was Legends of the Fall and A River
Right.
Runs Through It. Oh my God, River Runs Through It was just woo, sad.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, that's it. Tom Cruise was just out of the running because after he aligned the profits to donations to Scientology, I stopped watching
his
Tom
movies.
Cruise movies altogether. I think the only thing
Yeah,
that I saw after was his cameo or his small performance in Tropic Thunder, in which he killed.
Which was excellent, by the way. That was a great performance.
And he killed it. Absolutely, it was brilliant.
That character.
He was, and part of that money is going to the church, so that's why I'm not familiar with his work anymore.
In addition to old school Tom Cruise movies, whenever War of the Worlds comes on television, I will watch it no matter the time of the day. Excellent movie. Excellent.
All right. All right, guys, if you've never been to TLS before and this is your first time, what we do, we will be sharing our truths and opinions with you, calling out the lies and pointing out those ridiculous shenanigans going on out there. And we try to have fun with some shenanigans of our own. Our show streams live just about everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and now we're streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch TV at TLS Live Show across all those platforms. So make sure you hit that follow button, share this feed, invite your friends. Most importantly, join in the conversation with us. Don't ever miss an episode. Subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Google, Alexa. You'll find us wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. Now, before we get into our hot topics, Gianni wants to tell you guys about our special promotion, TLS Holiday Pet.
Yes. So, guys, we have officially started TLS Holiday Pets photo competition. So to enter, I'm going to give you guys some quick details. So to enter, upload your picture to any social media platform, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, all the other ones, and then use hashtag TLS Holiday Pets, and then also, if you don't mind, emailing us that same photo so that we can actually keep it and count out all the people. Count out all of the submissions. So
that's Instagram, Twitter,
yeah.
TikTok. Can they do it on TikTok? No, they can't do it on TikTok, right?
No, I wouldn't do it on TikTok or YouTube because it's mainly video. So that's why I said Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest even.
Okay.
If you're a Pinterest
We have a
person.
Pinterest page, y'all. We have a Pinterest page, y'all. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, we also have a Pinterest page. So upload it, use a hashtag, email it to us, and then you'll officially be entered. And then January 3rd is when we will announce the winner, who will get a customized TLS Holiday Pet bandana.
All right, and check out all of those platforms, and you'll see more details on exactly what you need to do if you have any questions. All right. Well, thank you for that, Gianni. Close that out.
You're welcome.
All right, time for our hot topics.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right. The way our hot topics works is one of our hosts will start us out and tell us if their topic is a truth, a lie, or shenanigans. They'll give us a little background, and then we'll talk about it until time is up. And then we'll go to our live audience for questions and comments about that topic. So make sure you are talking online to us right now. We are going to start with Robbie Rock. Let's talk about this silly woman in the Caymans. Is this a truth, lie, or shenanigans?
This is truth and shenanigan, as it generally tends to be with our topics. So Skylar Mack is an 18-year-old pre-med student at Mercer University from Georgia. Pre-med. So she's got some inkling as to what's going on out there. Her boyfriend, Vanjay Ramjeet, was in the Cayman Islands for a jet ski competition. Now, the Cayman Islands, since the COVID outbreak, has had 311 confirmed cases and 2 deaths. They've been managing it very well. And now this young American couple was there. He did his, and when you arrive in the Cayman Islands, mandatory 2-week period of self-isolation, and they give you a tracker that you have to wear. So please pardon the background noise. My cat has decided to find a plastic bag.
We can hear it. You're good.
It's amazing. Yeah. So what ended up happening is she, after a few days, joined her boyfriend at the competition and left the tracking device at the hotel where they were staying. So now, as a result of this, she was subsequently brought up on charges, and the charges and fines are very stiff in the Cayman Islands, as you can probably guess, with the amazing success that they've had managing the number of cases. So yeah, 4-month jail sentence is what was initially laid down, but just in the last 24 hours, we've come to find that that sentence has actually been reduced to 2 months. And the family, of course, is petitioning. They're saying that this young girl is frantic. And I mean, I can't imagine you're 18-year-old in another country sitting in prison. That can't be a good time. So my question to my co-host is, does the punishment fit the crime? And I would like to hear from Johnny.
Johnny?
I would say I did read the article that you sent us as well. So I do know a little bit of the backstory. Cayman Islands has about 64,000, I think, residents and only about 300 cases of COVID. So that tells you, how strict they are on protocol when it comes to COVID-19. They're not playing it. So I think that it's hard to say, she's 18, she's just a kid kind of thing. And I feel like in the West, we always kind of use that, especially in the United States. But in this case, no. I kind of feel like her sentence of 2 months, I want to say it's harsh, but I feel like when you step into other people's territory, you got to abide by the law. So I don't feel bad for her. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want it to be me, but no.
I agree. Go ahead, Lizzie.
So, Skylar, you in danger, girl. First of all, she is lucky that she was in the Cayman Islands versus North Korea. In North Korea, she would have probably been given a life sentence, probably shackled, beaten in the public sphere, and then we never would have heard from her again. You cannot, and people who are very what?
I
Do
mean,
you
it might
not
be bad, but I don't know about all that.
Do you not remember the young man that was locked up in North Korea?
I remember.
think he stole a sign.
Yeah,
He
he saw the
stole a
sign. Propaganda sign. Yep.
They sent him back to us. And how did that work? What happened?
He died, right?
He died.
Yeah.
He died. This is a lesson, a message to all of you out there, young and old, whether you're 18, whether you're 81. First of all, you need to abide by the laws in this country. But you certainly cannot go to a foreign country and think that you have the same privilege that you have here in America, that you have the same blonde hair, blue, green eye privilege that you have here in America. You have to adhere to the laws of the land. It's not only disrespectful, but it also shows that your mama did not raise you right. And so, do I think that the punishment was too harsh? Absolutely not. I think she should have gotten a minimum of 6 months. Minimum 6 months, and they should flag her passport so she can never return to the Cayman Islands again.
I agree to
Neo?
that.
All right, so I don't know. You guys probably won't like my take on it.
Do we ever?
Most of them. All right, so this is the second week in a row that. Oh, did you have something to say, Robbie? You look like you were about to say something.
No, please go ahead, Neo.
Second week in a row that Rob's picked a topic where we're talking about other sovereign nations. I was actually curious to hear everyone's response, considering the last time everyone was like, they were wrong for giving her 10 years, the Iranian girl, and they were wrong for it. Now, personally,
Okay, go ahead. I see I'm going to have to scream on you again, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dio.
Well, with that said, in my opinion, I personally don't think 4 months is enough. People are dying every single day, thousands, by the thousands. And many of us just can't follow simple rules. People are just selfish, right? If you can't follow rules, then you need to pay the consequences. That's how I feel. I mean, you, especially if you're going somewhere. She didn't have to go to the Caymans. You don't want to follow the rules, don't go.
Yeah.
Not only did she not have to go,
she went.
No, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
She went as a support role to support her boyfriend who was in competition, and that's it. Just knowing what the rules are, and she was at that competition day for 7 hours without wearing a mask, not doing any of the social distancing, and they have this documented. So, I mean, she absolutely took her blonde hair, blue-eyed, green-eyed privilege from the United States and brought it to a foreign nation. And at which point they went, sure, you're from America, so here's your cell. Congratulations, you messed up. And I can appreciate where the family would be petitioning for this young woman. I mean, she's 18 years old. It's
Scary.
but if that is the age of majority. You are an adult at that point. You should be making those intelligent decisions. Liz, you got your hand
I
up.
was gonna
You're revved up and good to go.
I just wonder because again, when I was 18, at the same age, at 18, I went to live in a foreign country. And so my question to the family is, did you guys not give her the lecture on how to behave when she leaves home and goes into someone else's house? Because even though, I was leaving on the heels of my dad's death and everyone was feeling sorry for me, my mother still sat me down and told me to be on my best behavior and to not embarrass the family. So did she not get the talk that most of us would have gotten? And also too, we need to emphasize the fact that yes, she was 18, but she's pre-med. She's pre-med. She knows the implications of being in this situation and possibly spreading this virus to an entire island. Like Johnny said, there are only 64,000 people who live there. We currently have more millions of people who are infected here.
Yeah,
She
you
could
could
have
wipe
wiped
out the
out
whole
the
island.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
So I thought she got off easy. I really thought she got off easy. But that's what happens a lot of times with, and not just with blonde hair, blue eyed privilege, with American privilege. A lot of times Americans don't think that the rules apply to us. We think that, somehow that we are superior or we are above it all, especially when we travel abroad. I've seen it so many times. And if you are an American abroad with some sense, watching your fellow Americans, you're embarrassed and you're looking like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? Act right. Like it's no. So people, when and if we get a chance to, go travel freely, please make sure that you are abiding by the law. Be respectful, not only of the
You are
country you're going to, but also be respectful in terms of representing the United States.
but keep in mind that while you are a citizen of whatever nation, while you are visiting abroad, you are a guest of that nation.
Mhm.
Your
Great
rights
job.
and
Great.
privileges don't apply. They really don't. So that's it. It's a responsibility to be prepared, to know what the laws are. If I'm going to operate a vehicle in a foreign nation, I need to know which side of the road to drive on, what the speed limit is. And Liz, you're right. I know that during times of travel, we typically play that game. Well, and you spot the Americans. And they're typically
Yeah.
pretty easy to find. And
So,
anytime that I've traveled, that's the first approach. Typically, people come up to you and say, "Oh, you're American." No, we're Canadian. Oh, you're Canadian. This is why they sell faux Canadian traveler kits for American people with your little Canadian flag pin, with expressions to use to pass off as Canadian, so that you don't get the international hate on for America.
so then my question to you guys, this is my question to you guys. So how do you think the international community is looking at us? Um, we think we sit here thinking that this is too much. This is enough time. This is less. I think all of us agree that this is not enough time for this particular individual. But if you look at what's happening in the U.S., people are walking around freely with masks, breaking rules all the time, fighting other people to break the rules, and there's no consequences for it. So, when the international community is looking at the U.S. and we're talking about, hey, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, and we're telling other countries, you're wrong for this or you're right for this. I mean, when you look at the U.S., we need some laws and we need to be doing the same things. I mean, we need to increase our rules and our penalties for breaking the rules for COVID. It's hard to kind of, yeah, I don't know.
And I have a lot of hope that that's coming in January when there's the changing of the guard. I really hope that the health and medical policies are going to become more stringent and more enforceable. I hope that it's going to be a huge wake up call for that alt-right that's fighting for their right to not wear masks and be controlled.
I think
Just
other
wear
countries
masks
are
and be right.
laughing at us.
I
Oh,
think
we
even
are.
Robbie, your question.
You
What
said
do
we
we
are.
what do other countries? What do we think other countries are thinking about America? I mean, Robbie, are we allowed in Canada yet?
Nope.
Nope. Are we allowed in the EU yet? Nope. I mean, there are countries that we still cannot go to because of our high surging COVID numbers. So that's what the world thinks of us. They
I mean,
think we are the problems.
and this is sort of what I was saying last week is like, when other countries are looking at us while we're talking about what they're doing, Trump is killing 4 out of 5 black men in the penal system, and then, and if I recall, everybody but Gianni was okay with that except for the black part, the racial inequities. Gianni was the killing part. I think we were all in agreement on.
I'm talking about.
But we got life sentences for weed. We got life sentences. We got and the other side of it, we got people getting off for murdering people in the streets. I mean, I think other countries. We always look at other countries and call them third world countries and what they're doing to their citizens. I'm telling you, it's probably. I'm sure they're laughing at us, but it's probably worse when you start thinking about crime outside of crimes against humanity and stuff like that. Well, when you're looking just at the penalties for minor crimes, inequalities of race and gender or religion, the U.S. is probably a way worse place to live than the so-called third world, or as Trump would say, S-hole countries and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just saying, and this is part of what I was saying last week. I mean, America, the U.S., it's hard to throw rocks. We got a lot to work on in the U.S. We got a lot to work on.
Oh yeah.
It's a conversation for a different show because I can give you some countries where it's way worse than here.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not counting crimes against humanity, genocide, stuff like that, torture.
I don't think it's something that we need to compare, though. I think we need to address each issue as it comes before us. And
I'm just trying to look from the other perspective, from the outside looking in. I mean, other countries have to be looking at us saying.
Of course they are. Of course they are. But some of those same other countries that are looking at us pointing the finger have some of the worst crime, the worst government atrocities on the planet.
Sure.
So it's it just depends on the circumstance.
I just think we have a lot to.
A lot to unpack.
Because we do spend a lot of time in other countries' business. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Well, we spend a lot of time in other countries' business, but we also give aid to a lot of other countries. Like it goes both ways.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, actually.
It goes both ways.
A very good point as well. You're right. We do give a lot of aids to those countries. All right. A lot of comments online. Let's see. We got. Okay, there's a few people commenting about me. I don't remember. Let's see. We got. False equivalency, Neo, Mike Winter. Mel Blaine says, "Scream on him, please, Lizzie Enders." Candace Winston says, "Didn't she remove her tracker?"
Yes.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
Jacqueline Robbins said, "The stereotype of the ugly American." Kevin Thaxton says, "The military says we are ambassadors."
Just for the tracker thing, in the United States, if you remove your tracker, those are extra charges. That is also an offense. That is also a crime. So again, she got off lucky.
He did. And then, let's see. Mike Winter says, "They feel sorry for us." They probably do.
My fans feel sorry for me, let me tell you. They feel sorry for me. I think even some of the Dominicans feel sorry for me at this point.
And Kevin Thaxton, who's in the military, said, "And don't forget, I almost didn't get to come back to the States because of these COVID-19 issues." All right. So, very good topic. Thank you, Robbie Rock.
Good topic.
Good discussion. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to Lizzie Enders. What's up with the Washington football team? Truth, lies, or shenanigans?
Truth and shenanigans, per usual. We are talking about another shame of the nation's capital.
Another shame.
We got old boys still in the White House, causing a ruckus, pardoning everyone from the rooter to the tutor. Now we're going to talk about the mess that is known as the Washington football team. So yesterday, the Washington Post posted an article about Washington football team owner Dan Snyder and how in 2009 he made a $1.6 million payment to a young lady who was a former staff member with the Washington football team who accused him of sexual harassment. Now, again, this was in 2009, not to be confused, not to be outdone with the Washington Post article that came out in July that talked about 15 female staffers with the Washington football team who alleged sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and verbal abuse from various Washington football team executives and staffers. So, first and foremost, my question to you all is, what the hell is going on in Washington? Or we could say Landover, because the stadium is in Landover, the facilities are in Landover. I think the headquarters is in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the Washington football team. We're the DMV, so we take on all of it. Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. So what's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all?
So how big are you guys into football? Bobby, Rock, Gianni?
I know about football, but I'm not into football.
I'm with Johnny.
So just to give you a little bit, Washington football team in DC is huge. It's huge. It's I mean, you could compare it to, because DC is a very small city, but we do have 4 major sports, and for all intents and purposes, the football team has been the most popular, the most successful. And so people take pride, and we're not talking about those Bama ass Dallas fans. We're talking about true Washington football fans. They take pride in their football team. And so to have these constant stories about sex and sexual assault with the owner and all of this stuff, on top of just changing the name of the team from the offensive Redskins to Washington football team. But now we see that there was a bigger story looming over that.
So,
what do you say? What say you?
I'll give my
I
thoughts.
didn't even know that they were the Redskins. I didn't know they changed. That's interesting to me. I didn't even know that. That's why I was like, oh, Washington football. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
You thought it was something different.
Wow.
They officially changed the name. I believe it was either spring or early summer, if I'm not mistaken.
So my thoughts. I think. I mean, this has been looming for a while, though. These allegations of sexual misconduct, and I think it was part of the reason that they decided to change the name, was to kind of take some of the spotlight off of that. They were like, oh, let's just do it because there's Dan Snyder. But I'm with Thaxton. I mean, I wish we could get rid of Snyder, because obviously the culture comes from the top down. So, Dan Snyder establishes the culture. He hires the people for that culture, and then it just, it trickles down. It's usually not a trickle up effect. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought up the culture. The way that the article was written was that other executives and staffers were in on the harassment. And when I dove into it, Liz, some articles corroborated 15, some said 15 to 25 individuals have come out. And typically, the way that these stories work is, it takes one to come out, and then the multiples start coming out. So if this is a cultural thing that's been bred from the top down into other executives and other staffers, what's deemed as acceptable in the workplace, I'm glad that these women are speaking out. And I'm not glad about the settlement out of court. I would prefer that this sees the way goes through the process in court, so that the proper charges are laying against the people who are the offenders, because it's just not right. It's unconscionable that this is still happening in this day and age.
Johnny, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, in light of this whole Me Too movement, it's interesting that, well, I'm honestly not surprised about, like, somebody as big as Snyder getting caught up for that, but it's just interesting that they did a settlement instead of making it public, like in light of the Me Too movement and you know how much people are giving support to that. So it just makes me feel like maybe that's dying out, or maybe that's not working um, for the victims of whatever crimes, sexual assault that's going on. Yeah.
Well, so this, if I'm not mistaken, so this settlement happened in 2009, so which means that the charges probably first came about in 2007, 2008, which would have been pre Me Too movement. But it said in the article that um, it likely would have not gone to trial because of lack of evidence. However, Dan Snyder didn't want it to be
The
made
word
public.
out. Mm-hmm.
So that's why he offered a settlement.
Uh,
Now, I don't know who ended up going to the press, to the media, but here we are. Now we know what really happened. But given that happened in 2009, that there were these allegations against the owner, and then fast forward to the story that came out this summer about, like Rob B said, about 15 other, at least 15 other women who were making allegations not only against the owner, but other executives within the organization. You can't tell me that the NFL has not been aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
That this has not been on the NFL's radar. So it begs the question. Kevin Thaxton pointed out that we need to get rid of Dan Snyder. When does the league step in? The league stepped in the NBA when it came to getting rid of Donald Sterling because of his racist comments and his racist actions towards players and other people within the NBA. When does the league step in here?
But if you're saying there's not enough evidence to even go to trial, possibly, what is the
I
league?
thought they started the investigation, the league.
That was for Snyder. The allegations from the summer are still pending. Nothing has been decided with all of that stuff from the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a history. Now there's a paper trail.
Yeah.
There's a paper trail with this team, with this organization. So what is the NFL doing?
Yanni, you had something you were about to say?
No, I was just saying, I thought that the NFL was the one that began the investigation after those women came forward.
And it's still ongoing. But how long does it have to go on before you do something? Because like Neo said, there's been talk about this for a while now, especially as it relates to staffers, especially as it relates in addition to these two stories, there was another story about the NFL cheerleaders being
Mm-hmm.
accosted,
Yep.
being
I remember that.
sexually harassed,
Yep.
about the Washington football team cheer. So we have three separate incidents here. And nothing really has been done except for a payment out to this young lady in 2009. So that was the first story that came out yesterday about my Washington football team. The second story is about our good old quarterback, Mr. Haskins, Mr. Dwayne Haskins. So Mr. Haskins, he came into the game on Sunday. Washington played the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. They lost. Dwayne Haskins threw two critical interceptions. This was a winnable game. They lost by 5 points. This was a winnable game. He threw two critical interceptions. They eventually lost the game. And what did he do after the game? He went and got some scrippers, had them. Now there's some discrepancy as to whether or not he was at a strip club or whether or not they were in a hotel room. Bottom line is, whomever was at that party with him released photos of him along with at least 5 other strippers in close proximity, no mask. One of the strippers had her ass in his face, twerking, dangling for Christmas. No
It's not
mask.
transmitted that way.
How do we know? Juices, Toby juices, breaking protocol. And so, of course, people went ballistic over this. The team had to make a statement. The NFL made a statement. It was the big talk online. Former football players were making statements. Current Washington football team players were making statements. Dwayne Haskins has subsequently been fined $40,000. This is his second COVID violation of the season.
Hasn't he also been stripped of his captainship?
He was stripped of his captaincy and fined $40,000. He originally was fined $5,000 in October for breaking protocol, because when they were in New York, he was at the team hotel and ordered a reservation for some of his friends to come to the hotel and party then. So again, my question is, what the hell is going on with the Washington football team?
All right, we're out of time, but 30 seconds, real quick. Your thoughts?
Multi-leadership.
Yeah.
Downey?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that I feel like because all of this stuff is coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if more came out in 2021 and then a big kaboom, maybe we'll get the answer we need. Yeah.
Robbie?
Yeah, really, it's multi-leadership, and the more that this story keeps evolving, the more people come forward and talk about it, then perhaps we'll see more action on the part of the NFL with the owners, either forcing them to sell because they are tainting the NFL brand at the end of the day. Their franchise is tainting the brand.
I think some of the comments, but some of the comments say it right. Obviously it has to do with leadership, but Jacqueline Robinson says, and yet he still has a job, talking about Dwayne Haskins, which speaks to the leadership.
The only reason why he has a job right now is because Alex Smith is hurt, and they don't know if he's going to play on Sunday. If this were mid-season and the starting quarterback was healthy, Haskins would be gone.
Jackson says Colin K needs a job.
Ooh. I said last year that Colin Kaepernick should come to Washington. He would be treated like a king here, 100%.
By the fans, by the fans, yeah. But do you remember why Doug Williams said why he wasn't coming? It was because of Trump. It was because of Trump's comments about Kaepernick and the NFL at the time.
Because Dan Snyder is Trump's boy. Mm-hmm, Dan Snyder gave $1 million to Trump throughout the inauguration, the campaign, or whatever. So
So that's the reason that Kaepernick is not in DC, apparently, according to Doug Williams. Let's see. Damn, I'm just seeing this and logging in. This is Derek Johnson. Hi, Derek Johnston.
What's up, D?
Let's see. Derek Winter said, no, the culture of the NFL allows this rampant misbehavior. So, my friends, it is probably not just the Washington football team. Investigate the league. Jackson says the NBA might be more organized than NFL when it comes to ethics. And Ernest Cooper says, never. You can put that in all caps. That was a quote from Dan Snyder back in the day about changing the name.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but also to remember, one of the reasons why the name was changed was because sponsors started to pull out.
Yep.
Nike said that they were no longer going to sell Washington football team paraphernalia. It was FedEx Field. FedEx said that they were going to strip their name from all sponsorship for the team if they did not change the name. So now what are these sponsors going to say about all of this sex, strippers, and videotape that's going on in Washington?
All right, let's move on to the next one. So there's a lot going on. So let's see if we can make this short as possible. This is mine. This is Truth and Lies. All right, so you may have heard the U.S. Congress passed a $2.5 trillion spending bill with about $900 billion towards COVID relief.
How much you getting?
A lot of people are pissed that people are only getting $600, when some countries have done way more for their citizens in relief from COVID. And well, I'm going to ask you about that later, Rob B., being in Canada. Now, this bill was largely negotiated by Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kevin McCarthy, and Trump's Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, in very secret meetings. Now, even Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Republican Ted Cruz both publicly agreed the bill, which was over 5,000 pages, was way too large to read before they voted on it. So they didn't even read it before they voted on it and passed it. So, of course, as is usual for these types of bills, there are all kind of other things in there. And ironically, it's Trump calling out some of those things. According to Trump, He says the bill contains 85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, 134 million to Burma, 1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military to buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. 25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan, 505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. Now, understand, hold on. These are all part of a larger overall spending bill, and many of these things help maintain relationships with these countries, right? As Lizzie was saying earlier, but there's also large amounts of money going to lobbyists. And there's some other things in the bill that you may not be aware of. The bill makes illegal streaming illegal. 10-year, a felony, I'm sorry, it was already illegal. It's a felony punishable by 10 years. There's also a provision that allows all those big businesses that stole money from that small business fund in the CARES Act, all those businesses that stole all that money. In this act, they're now able to deduct the amount of money they spent on their big time lawyers and accountants that found clever ways to legally steal money. They're able to now deduct those expenses. And there's some good things in the bill, though. Simplification of federal financial aid forms, measures to address climate change, provision to stop surprise billing from doctors and hospitals. All right, after all that, my simple question to you guys, do you think this bill provides the much needed COVID relief? Or are you on Trump with this one and the Congress needs to do more? They need to fix this, and because he's suggesting at least $2,000 to people. What do you guys think?
Trump is trying to
I'm going to let's start with Jay. I'm going to do Robbie Rock last. Let's start with Lizzie Enders, actually.
Do we really think Trump read this bill, first of all?
I mean, it took him 2 days to comment on it, so
he got spark notes on it. He didn't read the bill. He doesn't understand what's going on with the bill. And a lot of the things that you mentioned about international aid, those are Republican. Those are Republican suggestions.
They are. Yep.
But more importantly, I think Jacqueline Robinson pointed out these were two bills that were compressed into one at the last minute to avoid a shutdown. I don't think that this relief bill is going to be any good for most Americans. Certainly won't be good for me. I didn't get anything from the last stimulus. I'm not getting anything from this stimulus.
You didn't?
You
must be rich.
Because what are you talking about? It was based on your tax returns from a previous year, not when I got furloughed in March from my second job.
I got one.
I did not get one, and I wouldn't get the $600. And what's $600 going to do for people who are at the edge? Absolutely nothing. That ain't paying nobody's rent. That ain't, catching anyone else up on rent. It's one of those things where they're trying to, dangle out a little piece of cheese very quickly to just draw you in, and then they remove it right when the trap falls on your head.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was a well thought out bill. And I say this, to both the Dems and the Republicans. I think it was something that was pushed through at the last minute to avoid a shutdown. AOC, and heaven forbid, forgive me for saying this, Ted Cruz, I agree with both of them. There is no time to read something that is 5,000 pages long. No. I've been bitching all semester.
Even if you had assistants reading it and pages.
I've been bitching all semester about my 80 essays that I have to read.
You could have 20 people reading that 5,000.
Come on.
Yeah, Gianni.
This is where we are with our government. This is where we are.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it sounds like it was rushed, and that. But my thing is, when did they start this bill? Because I understand,
working on it for months.
Oh, they didn't start it in March, back in March.
I mean, they've been debating over it for months. I mean, they've been debating over it since the last COVID relief bill.
Remember our little promo that we did the other day? They took 9 months to decide on $600.
I don't think it's relieving anybody. I think that, like Liz said, it is like a trap. Like it's like dangling, like here, because of course people need. I mean, they need the
Take
$600.
whatever you
It's
want and you can
doing
get it, right?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing something, but it's not catching. Like it's not doing anything really. It's not like grown up money. It's not an adult money. So I think that it's not a relief, but also just besides the amount that they're trying to give us to go do something with, it's like what else in that relief besides money? Like, what else can we be secure? Like, what else can secure us and stabilize us that is mentioned in there? I have to look at it and research it, but it's just, I don't see where the relief is. I don't. It just sounds like what happened at the beginning of the year.
Pretty much. Robbie Rock? I know you have a different perspective coming from Canada.
Well,
'Cause
no,
he's
like
not
that's
going to
a,
get the 600 either, Lizzie.
no, I'm not going to get the 600. Try as I might. Try as I might. I have to go collect it in person, so I'm not coming. But no, that's six. Like Johnny just said, alluded to. You know, it's $600. It's not grown up money. It's not going to catch you up on your rent. It's not going to catch you up on your bills if you've had some financial shortfalls as a result of this grossly mismanaged pandemic in the States. Um, I mean, just to compare it a little bit to what's happening in Canada, um, for those who qualify for the Canadian Emergency Relief Benefit, um, which that started in March, the initial payout is $2,000 and then $500 per week. And so, I mean, there are rules and guidelines, and there have been some violators. There are people who, small business owners who have gotten it, and the defense now is, well, hey, I didn't know I had to declare net versus gross. And it's like, if you don't know net versus gross and you're a small business owner, you shouldn't be in small business if you can't fill out the tax properly. If your
Yeah,
accountant led you
that's
down
something my
that
wife had
garden
to learn
path,
immediately. Learn
right?
that
You
during the
need a
business
new
plan.
accountant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I really feel bad for my American cousins because I know that you haven't had the infrastructure, the health policies, or the financial relief that's required in order to properly manage the pandemic scenario, to give people an opportunity to actually stay home and do what they have to do. Yeah.
Neil, I have a question for you because I didn't read the 5,000 pages either, but doesn't
No.
it include more money for PPE loans for small businesses?
There's going to be additional money for PPE loans. Well, I don't know if they're going to call it PPE loans, but there's additional money for small businesses.
But the need for that is because they squandered the first round of
Because they
PPP
gave it all
loans
to big businesses
to big businesses and Trump friends.
and Trump friends, right?
So they're trying to make up for shit
And
this
again,
go round.
like I said, they added a provision that allows them to deduct the fees that they spent on all of those lawyers and stuff so that they could effectively steal the money. But so my wife, every year we donate, we do donations to different charities through Posh Cycling and Fitness, Posh.fit, go check it out. But we do charities all the time. And this year we were doing a charity to a local homeless shelter and a food bank nearby. My wife went and took the food to the food bank, and she says the lines were crazy at the food bank. So, there's people standing in lines trying to get food. And then on top of that, we take the toys to this homeless shelter. And I started thinking to myself, man, how many people are in there homeless because of COVID right now? I mean, and they have their children in there. It was a ton of toys that we were able to collect, that she was able to collect. And we took them over, and man, I just kept thinking these kids will have a much better Christmas than they might have. But how many people are in there because of COVID? And we, $600 is not going to help them get back into a house. It's not going to help them get their apartment. It's not going to help them get back on their feet. It's not going to do anything to get them back on track. It's just going to help them get by, and it's going to, give a little money back into the economy for spending. That's it. That's all it does. They're not really giving it to the people that actually need it.
I think Genji's gonna come before I make my last comment.
Okay, go ahead.
So Daria Winter and I had a conversation the other night. You brought up a lot the long lines for people standing to get food, to get assistance, to get aid. And Daria Winter and I had a conversation about this the other night, to which I said, "What does this remind you of? Long lines of people trying to get food, trying to get aid. This is communist Russia,
Mm.
standing in line for bread, standing in line for milk,
Well, you know, Trump
standing in
loves himself some Putin.
loves himself some Putin.
Because
Returning into
you know that
communist
big hack
Russia.
that happened from Russia that Russia did. He was still defending Putin. Still defended Putin and was trying to say, you know, it could be China. Why is everything about Russia, Russia this, Russia that? But all his intelligence officials are telling you Russia did the big hack. He's a Russia lover, so he was trying to make America more like Russia. Thank goodness for getting his butt out of there.
Russian. I don't know.
All right, there's a lot of comments online. Mel Blaine says, my wife says, I got pennies last time. You know, how much are small businesses getting this time around? Pennies again, probably. PPP is
Right?
supposed to be opening on December 28th, but I'm sure that the date has changed, she says. Kevin Thaxton's nickels and dimes, maybe. Honestly, who the hell has savings? This is so shameful. Um,
It's
yeah.
shameful.
It really is.
That's the word that I say about everything now. It's just shameful. It's shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful.
And Jose says, "Hey Remy."
Yeah, Remy.
Mike Winter,
Okay.
and Jose saying hello to Remy. Oh, and Jacqueline Robinson says the one person he didn't criticize for congratulating Biden is Putin. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought about that.
That's an excellent
He actually
point.
didn't criticize. He criticized everybody else for congratulating Putin.
Because he
All right,
knows better.
all right,
He
that
don't
was
want Putin to beat that ass.
great
He
discussion.
knows
We're
better.
definitely running over in
Exactly.
time, so let's move through these pretty quickly. Gianni Storm, what's your high five?
Lies, shenanigans.
Okay, so this
Truth,
year's
liar, shenanigans. Sorry,
ending.
let me ask you. Truth, liar, shenanigans.
Oh, sorry. This is a truth and a really cool truth. So this year is ending in a cosmic alignment with Jupiter and Saturn being conjunct in the sky. So, really quick, if you guys haven't seen it, it happened this past Sunday, December 21st, where this was the first time that happened in, I believe, 20 years where it was visible to actually see the stars align, forming this kind of cute Christmas star that everybody calls it. So, this happened visibly in the year 1226 when the cathedral in Notre Dame was being built in Paris. So, big cosmic shifts happen with this alignment. So my question to the panel is, do you guys foresee or do you guys believe that there will be some type of cultural or government, since we were talking about it, shift in humanity
Because
with
of the
this
alignment
alignment?
of Jupiter and Saturn.
Jupiter and Saturn. Yeah.
All right, Robbie Rock. I was excited about this topic, by the way.
Yeah, I love natural phenomenon. I love stargazing. If anyone is inspired by it, absolutely wonderful. Whether or not the gravitational pull from these distant celestial objects will have any influence on or direct influence on people's behavior, unlikely. But visually spectacular, and hopefully come out of it a better person if you actually took the time to observe it.
Lizzie Anders.
Okay.
I'm a dreamer. I am a Twilight Zone fanatic, huge fan. Twilight Zone marathon coming next week on New Year's Eve on the Sci-Fi Channel. So I believe that, Rod Serling is in his grave looking at this saying, yes, this is going to impact us on Earth at some point. I'm not quite sure. I thought that this was a beautiful phenomenon that I really regret not being able to see because of the cloud coverage here in Washington, D.C. But the question that I had, and maybe you guys can answer this, there are a lot of flat earthers out there. So do you think the flat earthers looked at the conjunction and thought that it was fake?
That's funny.
Do you think they
I
believed
felt
it?
like they had their own theory about it. Yeah, I feel like they either had their own theory or they did think it. Yeah.
So
Neil?
I thought it was I didn't get to see it, but No, this is a once in a lifetime thing, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
you
won't
know,
happen
there's
for a
people
very
who've
long time.
never been able to see it, and we've been able to see something they've never been able to see. I mean, I am, you know, as far as me, I can't. The world, the universe is so massive, it's so amazing. Um, I don't know what this universe holds. I don't know what it does. I know you ascribe to some astrology, right? You're an astrology, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I am into astrology and just how the stars and just in general how esoteric the world is. I feel like I was interesting hearing what Rob said that the celestial bodies don't have an impact to us. I don't necessarily. I kind of have a weird opinion, but I don't believe that the planets are actually solid, obvious rock. I think that those are actually reflections. I believe the moon is actually a reflection of the Earth. I know I have kind of weird out there kind of thoughts, but I have my reasonings. But I do believe that coincidences are really just perfection, solid, like consolidated. So I think that it's not ironic that when this placement took place, that people viewed it at that time, dynasties were ending, and new ones were emerging. So I think that there is a funny coincidence there, but
See,
yeah.
I'm one of those people who I believe that anything is possible. Like we can't possibly understand this universe completely. We can't possibly understand every aspect of it. We don't understand, small things. We don't even understand time and how time works, time and space work. So for us to be able to say, it's tough to be able to say what effects they do have. I mean, if you think of gravity alone, the force of gravity, the only reason we look the way, one of the main reasons we look and we stand upright and do all these things is because of gravity. It had a direct effect on who we are, what we look at, what we look like, time, space, all these things have effect. So this conjunction, certainly the gravitational pulls and everything else, even the moon has a direct effect on how we were
I
formed, how we became who we are. It affects our psyche, the sun, the movement of the sun. All of these things affect us directly, and it's been proven scientifically that these things directly affect us biologically. So, could it affect? Could it have affected us? Probably. It may be more minute than say the sun and the moon because they're more direct or have a more direct. But I don't know. This universe is an amazing universe, so I can certainly subscribe. I can accept, the possibilities.
Yeah. Well,
I think a lot.
Saturn rules government and Jupiter rules expansion and knowledge. So it's like when those are aligned, I guess it's they're trying to say basically the government that we're under is ultimately obviously coming apart and a new one is kind of coming through. Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lizzie.
No, no, no. I was just going to say, I think a lot of, if you are a traveler and you talk to people in other countries, this idea or this skepticism of the solar system, of the sun, of the moon, of other planets, of other orbits, in my opinion, is really a Western world thing, specifically an American thing. You go to a lot of other countries and they are very respectful of the solar system. They're very respectful of the idea of silence to the point where some of them worship it. Whereas here, there's always a conspiracy theory, or there's this science versus religion. Not that, and even though I'm not very religious, but the idea that they can mesh is offensive to some people. Um, but like Mike Winter said, we have the Air and Space Museum here in Washington D.C. I grew up in the Air and Space Museum.
Me
My mom
too.
used to work there. And so I challenge anyone who is skeptical about this, come on to DC post COVID. We will give you a tour.
Air and Space Museum is an amazing museum. It's the
Oh my
most.
God, it's beautiful,
Yep.
but also it's amazing.
It's the
It's
most visited
amazing.
museum in the world.
And like I said, the Twilight Zone Marathon comes on next week. Watch it, y'all. Watch it. It's great.
All right. That was a great topic, Gianni Storm. We do have some comments online. Apparently, Kevin Thaxton says NASA is fake. Just kidding. Gary Winter was asking, is it astrology or astronomy that you're into, Gianni?
Kevin Thaxton just wants
Astrology, not the science. Astronomy is more of a scientific.
so
Not science,
astrology, Gianni. My one of my besties, she's always quoting or telling me that I'm in retrograde. Always. And so for that, I'm just like, can't I just be in a foul mood? Like, I don't know if it's retrograde.
Retrograde means stuff.
So I'm in a foul mood just because.
Jose says we need a shift in humanity, and then Kevin Thaxton says aliens. It'll open up a wormhole from Altron 7 Beta.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, those are great hot topics, guys. Great hot topics. All right.
Perfect ending, yo. Perfect ending.
All right, let's get on to our game show. Let's see if we can knock this out quick. All right, today's game is Christmas Jeopardy. We'll do this round robin style. We only have time for maybe 3 rounds, so pick your categories and amounts wisely. I'll read off the categories.
Remember, I need a boost.
I got you. I'll boost it for you.
Thank you.
You'll select the category and amount. I'll read off the answer, and you must provide the question. All responses must be provided as a question or will not be accepted. There will be no negative points, but correct responses do get points. And once 3 rounds is up, we'll play a final Jeopardy. I'll need you guys to message me your bid amount. I'll pick a random answer from the board, read the answer, and you'll have 15 seconds to provide the correct response. You'll have to message that to me as well. All right? So if you win your bid amount, you get your money. You get your point. All right? The person with the most points wins the game and has our final thought. All right. Let me first, I'm going to boost Lizzie's signal a little bit. Let's see what we can do here so she can see a little bit better. I'm going to boost Robbie's already boosted.
First statement. Rob B's chair looks like this Star Wars character.
All right, so
who is Darth Vader?
Here are today's categories: Christmas songs, Christmas food and drink, Christmas movies, Christmas characters, Saint Nick, and popular toys. And Kevin Thaxton says he is going to win. All right, we're going to start off with Gianni Storm. You have Christmas songs, Christmas food and drink, Christmas movies, Christmas characters, Saint Nick, and popular toys. 100 to 500, you get to choose.
I'm going to do popular toys for 200.
Popular toys for 200. This
Come
toy
on,
was
Gianni.
popular in the 1960s and helped young girls play kitchen.
I had one.
Easy bake oven.
Oh,
Gotta ask a
Easy bake.
question.
What is Easy Bake Oven? This wasn't a question. We can't accept that.
wasn't a
I'm
question.
sorry. I am sorry. We cannot accept that, Gianni.
You gotta ask a question.
I got you. Next time.
I cannot
Welcome to
accept
my
that.
world. That's what I
apologize,
did.
Gianni.
That's what I did the first time too.
All right. Rob D. Rock. would you
Let's
like
go
to take
popular
as-
toys for 5.
What is that
Popular
again?
toys for 5.
Popular toys.
Popular toys for
You're
5.
going big time.
Yeah.
Popular toys for 5.
Hi.
All right. This is the toy from the 90s movie Jingle All the Way.
Oh my god, it was that action figure. Captain Action.
The correct answer is
Turbo
what is
Man.
Turbo Man.
I never would have
That
gotten
was good, Rob.
I would have
That was
gotten that
a good
either.
guess.
That's why I wouldn't have picked 500.
Hey,
Kevin
it
Jackson
wasn't
got
asked
Easy
in the
Bake
form of a
Oven.
question.
Captain Robinson got Easy Bake. All right. Lizzie Enders. What would you like to pick? What category and amount?
Let's go with Christmas songs for 200.
Christmas songs for 200. Good choice. In Holly Jolly Christmas, you are told to have a cup of this. In Holly Jolly Christmas, you're told to
I'm
have a
trying to
cup
think-
of
I'm
this.
trying to sing it in my head. Have a jolly, jolly Christmas. What is eggnog?
What is eggnog? I don't believe that's the case.
Yeah.
What is cheer? What is cheer?
Cheer.
That is incorrect. What is
I guess
cheer?
I never got past have a holly jolly Christmas. That's
All
all
right.
that came out
Well,
of
the
my head.
current score is 0, 0, and 0. Gianni Storm.
You got this, Johnny?
Again,
Yes.
the categories are Christmas songs, Christmas food and drink, Christmas
Remember,
movies,
ask
Christmas
the
characters,
question,
Saint
Johnny.
Nick,
Ask the question.
and popular toys.
I'm going to take Christmas food and drink for 200.
For 200. All right. Vision of these dance in children's head.
I know it.
I know
always
this one
do
too.
this.
I feel like I know.
Vision of these dance in children's head. By the way, Mike Winter got cheer. Paulette Brand got cheer.
No, he didn't. He looked it up.
Oh, what is candy? What are candy canes?
Let's check.
No.
What is
That is
Visions of
incorrect.
Sugar
What are
Plums.
sugar plums? All right. 0 for you, Gianni. All right, Robbie Rock. Which category?
Let's try popular toys for 4. Let's climb up that ladder.
Okay, popular toys for 4. In 1996, people were reselling this $30 red doll for $1,500.
What is Tickle Me Elmo?
I believe that is correct. That is
Can I
correct.
tell you
What is
how many
Tickle Me
versions of Elmo I watched
Elmo?
with my goddaughter?
All right,
Lord.
Johnny. Robbie got 400 points. Well, you guys have a mountain to climb now. All right. Liz E. Enders. What category and amount?
Gosh, what did you, Johnny just did food and drink?
Yep, food and drink. You did food and drink for 200.
All right, let's be ambitious. Let's do Christmas movies for 400.
Ooh, Christmas movies for 400. The star of Jingle All the Way. Who is
No.
the star of Jingle All the Way? As a question, don't forget.
Do I have to watch the movie? Is that a prerequisite?
Nah, I don't know.
Who is the Terminator? Who is Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
Oh, you got it! Look at you! Congratulations!
Wow.
Good.
You caught
Good
right
job.
up.
All right. So Barbie Rock and Lizzie Enders both have 400. All right. It's your chance to catch up, Gianni Storm. This is the last round.
Okay, I'm actually going to choose Christmas songs for 500.
Ooh.
Come on
Christmas
with it,
song,
girl.
500.
Just remember, ask the question. Ask the question.
Ooh. Oh, wow. What Alvin wants for Christmas in the Chipmunk song.
What is a hula hoop?
Oh, yes. What is a hula hoop? That is correct. That is correct. Well done, Gianni. All right. All right. All right, Robbie Rock. This is your last round. Gianni Storm is in the lead.
Christmas characters for 4.
Christmas characters for 4. Is that what you said? 4?
Yes, please.
All right. For 400.
I'm gonna go big.
Oh man, Rudolph's father's name.
Who is Santa?
I've seen that show. I've seen that daggone cartoon like a billion times, and I can't remember. What'd you say, Robbie?
Thank you, Liz.
What'd you say, Robbie?
Who is Santa?
Who is Santa? That is correct. Donner. That is incorrect. Donner.
Donner is his dad.
Donner
Wow,
is
I
his
didn't
dad.
know that.
I couldn't remember which one it was, but all right. Lizzie. All right. So Gianni is in the lead with 500, 400 for Robbie, and Lizzie Enders. What is your final one?
Gianni came hard real quick. I'm going to do what is. So I only need like.
You only need 200 to take the lead. Remember, we're going to be bidding. We're going to do Final Jeopardy, so
You need betting cash.
you need money.
Oh, scam.
Don't worry, you
Okay.
don't lose any money.
What let's do Christmas movies for no, let's do Christmas characters for 500. Go hard or go home.
Whoa! All right.
Wow.
The name of the rabbit in Frosty's magic hat. Oh my God, I've seen this about 1 billion times too. I have no idea.
Why do you give me the hard ones? Oh my
Did you pick 500?
God, I didn't.
Literally.
You're a liar.
Literally. Ooh.
By the way, let's see. Jacqueline Robinson did have Donner. Did pick Donner.
Noise.
Wow.
Kevin Thaxton went for Cupid. He got hula hoop though. Oh, don't look online. Don't look online. Don't look.
I'm not looking online.
I don't think that's right, Kevin.
Do I say who or what? Because it's a rabbit. A rabbit. So what is? Because a rabbit is not a hoop. What is Jack Frost?
Who is Hocus
Hocus
Pocus? So
Pocus.
that is incorrect.
Hopper.
All right, good job. All right, so that means Gianni is in the lead, 500 to 400 to
That
400.
means I ain't got no money.
All right.
I ain't got no money.
No, you got 400. You got 400. No negative points.
400.
No negative points. So everybody's got. So
Okay.
send me your bid. Message me your bid right now.
Oh,
Message me your bid.
why come I gotta message it? Message where?
So I can lock it in for you.
But where am I messaging it?
So just send it to
Wait. The bid you choose your own number, right?
yeah, any up to $500 for you, 400 for the other guy. All right, I got Lizzie's. Got Gianni's. I got Robbie's. All right, let's go for Christmas movies. The topic is Christmas movies. All right. Now don't say your answer yet. You're gonna message it to me. These are the 4 main elf food groups according to Buddy the Elf. These are the 4 main elf food groups according to the Buddy the Elf.
Oh, that doesn't even look like elf. That looks like EIF.
It does. Yeah.
So what am I doing?
You're messaging your answer to me.
Oh, shoot.
Just so you know, Rob, I was about to message the same thing.
All right, well, I need to see it. Lock it in for me.
We gotta get it.
It's
Rob gave it
locked.
away.
All right, did I get it from you?
Well, Rob gave it away.
But if we don't know, you can take
My
the
answer
answer. You
could
might
be
be wrong.
incorrect. My answer could be incorrect. Shoot.
Don't worry about the what is.
Oh,
I'll just
wait.
accept the answer. All right, you ready? The answer is, what are candy canes, candy corns, and syrup? The answer I got from Gianni was, well, no, let me give Rob B first. What is sugar, candy corn, syrup, and cotton candy? That is incorrect. Rob B, you bet 400, so you have 0. All right. Lizzie, your answer was, what is candy canes, candy corns, and syrup? That is correct. Good thing you didn't just accept Robbie's answer.
I didn't see that he wrote. I didn't see that he wrote sugar.
And you've earned 400 points. So you have 800 points now. All right. And Gianni, let's see what you gave me. Gianni said candy cane and hot chocolate. Sorry, Gianni, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. So that means our winner for today's game is Lizzie Enders.
Feel the joy! Feel the joy!
Let's see. Let's see. What would you say? Great come from behind win. Great come from behind win. Good job, Lizzie.
Nice.
Get some shout outs in. Let's get some shout outs. All right, Gianni Storm, what's your shout out for today?
Shout out to everybody that is watching on TikTok. I went live a little bit earlier. I'm gonna make that a habit. So look out for me going live every time we go live on Wednesdays and Sundays. So thank you guys, whoever tuned in.
All right, Robbie.
Shout out to Johnny Rupka Jose for spearheading the first annual pet picture contest. Please send in your submission. And absolutely a shout out to everyone who is going to be celebrating over the next couple of days. Do so responsibly, do so with your loved ones, and be good to one another.
All right, and Lizzie Enders.
Shout out to the 80s legendary rap group Houdini, who lost their frontman today. Ecstasy, aka John Fletcher, one of my favorite rap groups of all time. Shout out to Houdini. Shout out to John Fletcher, Ecstasy's loved ones. One love, y'all. One love.
All right, and my shout out goes out to a childhood classmate and friend, Damon Gordon, who passed away. I found out he passed away yesterday. I remember he was always a really good, friendly dude. Grew up in the neighborhood. He worked on a number of films, so he was a film producer, and so sad to hear. I don't know, what happened, but it was certainly sad to hear. So,
Very
my
sad.
shout out to Damon Gordon. Damon Gordon, you know Damon, right? Is he? Maybe via Facebook. I think he was a year ahead or a year behind us, but I knew him from the neighborhood.
I'd have to look him up. But regardless, condolences to his family, friends, loved ones.
All right, so that is all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. We hope that maybe you learned something, gained a new perspective, or even got something off your chest. Don't forget, we need your support to keep this going. Like, follow, and subscribe at TLS Live Show. And if you missed any of today's episodes, check out our clips online on YouTube, Facebook, tomorrow, and share those clips out. Also, make sure you're subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Alexa. Just search Truth Lies Shenanigans. It was a fun night. We had a lot of deep discussions. We went way over time tonight. But our next live show is on Wednesday, December 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific. We will not have a live show this Sunday as we're letting our hosts enjoy the holidays. We want you guys to enjoy the holidays. We'll be replaying one of our favorite episodes on Sunday, but we will be back, like I said, on Wednesday with a fun year in review episode. We'll be opening all of our Secret Santa gifts live. So make sure you don't miss next Wednesday. Hope all of you have an amazing holiday break, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. And it looks like our winner was Robbie Rock. So, Robbie Rock, close us out, buddy. Close us out.
Liz won.
Oh, I'm sorry. Robbie Rock did not win. Yes, Lizzie Enders.
So used to it.
Lizzie Enders.
Are you watching this?
Hey, I was trying to give him a Christmas gift. It was an early Christmas gift. It was an early Christmas gift.
I was ready to fight.
All right, Lizzie Enders, close us out. What we got?
Just very quick closer, just to reiterate what Neo said. I want to thank everyone for following us so far this year. It's been amazing. But also, please have a great holiday this weekend. Whether you're celebrating Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, atheism, whatever. Just have a great season, holiday this weekend. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, your loved ones, and feel the joy. Feel the joy, y'all.
We're going out on that. Good night, guys.
Lies, shenanigans, truth, lies, shenanigans, truth, lies, shenanigans.